In this AnandCast episode, we're joined by General Khajuria, who brings decades of experience from 6 conflict zones, including the LTTE crisis in Sri Lanka, militancy in the Kashmir region, and the insurgency in the Northeast. We'll talk about the evolving challenges to India's security, internal and external, and how technology like drones and AI is changing the battlefield. Through his stories, you'll hear about the grit, discipline, and decision making that define life in the army.
Retired 2011.
And when did you join?
I joined in 1973.
How did it start for you? Can you tell us about the year you started?
I belong to a small village
Okay.
where the education in the 50s was really a big dream. There was no school in the village. There was only up to class 5, which was under a peepal tree. That's how it started off.
Right.
And in my area, anyone who passes matric, that was a big achievement in those days. I'm talking about the 50s and 60s. My father had a vision. He wanted me to be a graduate. That was his first vision. And he wanted thereafter I should become a lawyer.
Right.
Because we had good amount of land out here. Lots of cases going around in the courts. And he thought if your own son becomes a lawyer, so naturally you will save lots of money. That is what probably was in his mind. And the life continued, doing well, working, helping my father also. And then one day I was all set to become a lawyer. One day I had gone to pick up my date sheet. One of the friends said, have you filled the form for short service commission? I said, no, where it is? Go to the sub-area headquarters. I went there, the forms were exhausted probably, and he gave me a plain paper and he said, here it is. So I thought he made a sort of a fool out of me. But anyway, I filled it up and came back home. Lo and behold, I got a call for the written test and the interview. I went there. My result came later, but I was selected before that in Bangalore. I attended SSB 24 and I was through by God's grace, and here I am today.
Was it a blank sheet of paper?
Blank, it was not a form, but he fill in your form, he said. Fill in, you write down your name, home address.
So like you wrote it yourself?
I wrote it and
form नहीं था?
I wrote it.
Sir, आपको कोई ऐसे सड़क पे चलता हो देखेगा ना, उनको पता लग जाए कि you are a military man, right?
Oh, thank you. This is, I think, this is what the army makes you out of,
मैं यही पूछना चाहता हूँ कि आर्मी आपको क्या बना देती है कि आपकी प्रेजेंस इतनी नोन हो जाती है?
You go from home as a absolutely raw material, and the army converts you into a valuable asset for the country,
Right.
for the army and for the man himself also. Whatever is my value, it has been nourished and enhanced by the army itself. The army teaches me how to eat, how to sit, how to talk. Army doesn't need those Einstein's genius. Army needs a person who can fit in every slot. Harfan Maula, right? The man should be able, any task given to him, whether it is in his field or not his field, he should be capable of doing it. And that's what brings in the confidence, continued training, continued experience gained on the field. So that's what the army brings in, and those habits once get into your blood, they remain.
अब सर देखो, एक फिजिकल ट्रेनिंग है, सबको पता है, राइट? साइकोलॉजिकली क्या ट्रेनिंग हो रही है आपकी उसमें?
When you go there for the SSB, there's a full-fledged selection process based on the psychological test. They have to see, you'll be surprised, number of incidents come play where they have picked up that quality, good or bad, during the SSB. So all your tests are based on that, whether you carry a leadership quality or not, whether you are a team man or not, or whether you got that intellect to understand, whether you can command or not. And the training thereafter is very scientifically worked out. It brings in you the physical fitness, it brings in you that courage, moral courage, physical courage. They keep drumming it. Own up. Anything goes wrong, own up. If it is your fault, you have to say, yes, I did it. I passed this order. You can't say tomorrow if something goes wrong. No. So
ownership.
Ownership for everything, and you as an officer. The officer and the gentleman, that sticks around with you. And this is drilled in you. and through I would say, very scientifically based training. So psychology plays a great role. You see, a person who doesn't have the emotional, that quotient which is needed, he can't fit in there. Under stress, he might break down. And if the leader breaks down, well, the command is gone.
Yeah.
People are looking. Look, the fear is same for you, me, for anyone.
We're humans.
It's a nature. So it is a fight or flight. The other people under you, your command, they're watching you. You make a wrong movement and there will be probably a total bhagdad. People will. But you, in spite of that, you have to show as if there's nothing. It's a casual. It's a normal. So that is where the army training comes in.
So ये psychological training है. It teaches you some control over yourself.
Control over yourself. You also have to know the psychology of your troops. After all, you are dealing with men. तो जवानों के बारे में you have to see. एक बार फेस देख लिया तो you must know कि कुछ तो खराबी है, कुछ तो आज ये लड़का is not the same जो he used to be there. Right? Why he pent up? Why he's not behaving the way? So you have to keep all those things. किसके घर की प्रॉब्लम है, you have to that compassion. You have to understand. तो पहला ये है कि you have to know everyone.
Right. आपने सर डर की बात की कि you are also human beings. You are taught to conquer your fear, but you do feel fear. आप मेरे को एक एग्जांपल दे सकते हो, एक स्टोरी बता सकते हो जहाँ पे आपका फियर कॉन्कर हुआ हो?
Yeah, I'll tell you. और पवन श्रीलंका.
Okay.
हमारी यूनिट was virtual just जब वो लड़ाई शुरू हो गई.
Which year was
पहले
this?
तो it was 1987. We were training for it in Bangalore. बीच में राजीव गांधी एंड जयवर्धन अकार्ड हो गया. They said, okay, all is well now, you go back home. We were coming back from Bangalore, and when we reached Gwalior, everything had gone, topsy-turvy in Sri Lanka, because the LTT has attacked Maratha, which was a unit there in the fort out there. So we were asked to move immediately. From there itself, from the train, we were pulled out, taken to the airport and flown in
Okay.
at Palali airfield. After that, the orders came. Okay, we were to clear a road, Palali Zafna, which is about 17.5 kilometers. We were to clear 5 kilometers of that. We cleared it. After us, the Sikhalai came. Famous battle of there where they lost virtually everyone. 22 odd people they lost. Only one was kept alive by them. They landed at a helipad where they knew they will be coming here. And they were all massacred. So we were asked to go and, extricate them. That entire battalion was surrounded. So far, so good. We had only lost one person. Coming back, we were hammered. We were just about 420 plus another about 100 people, and LTT was approximately anything over 900,000 people. Whole night they kept on pestering us. Our CEO was killed next day morning. One of the company commander was killed. We suffered heavy. We had over 127 casualties, more than 70 on war. So this is the bedding in. You are seeing things are happening, but nothing serious has happened. So what to you as an individual?
उस टाइम पे आपका रैंक क्या था?
I was a major.
Major.
Now what happens is, we are out. They had attacked our battalion headquarters with the RLs and rocket launchers, and we moved at night, carried out a cordon search. I was coming back home, my post. They laid an ambush, daytime ambush. And two of my platoons were down under. One platoon was spare. Now that moment, when the entire fire came, it must have lasted for not more than 5 to 7 minutes. But those 5 to 7 minutes, that was the first time when you came under direct fire, you realized as if this 5 to 7 minutes are never-ending sort of a thing. So now the moment is, first few minutes, you have to really take a deep breath and hold yourself. So they had blown a bridge. So there was all dust around, everywhere dust. You couldn't see anything, you couldn't hear anything. It was so low. It was 1,000-pound IED in a drum. So you couldn't hear anything, you couldn't. But after that, took stock of that, right? But I can share with you, those first time coming under fire of this kind, that few moments, it gives you that,
Shock.
fear, right? Then your training tells you whatever your seniors have told you, it happened in war, this will happen. Don't panic, this will happen. Everything. People will go to the ground. Now it is your ability to make them get up.
Yeah.
Right. So give a pause when realize, yes, I have gained the confidence. That's the time you said, okay, let's go. So I said, okay, one platoon was still out. Asked them to charge through, fired a few RLs and all, and we were out. We had a few casualties, but absolutely fine. But this is just an example of how the first time when you come under heavy fire, and that's how you feel. You do feel fear. It's a natural human, but your training and that grooming tells you it will happen.
Was it better second time?
Second time, and then over the in a time when it keeps happening, then you had vehicle coming under ambush, or people firing, or you landing into it, during raid and all. But then it doesn't give you that. It doesn't give you the same feelings.
Intensity कम हो जाती है.
You start absorbing that. You can see hear the fire. You know where it will go. Whether it's coming there, you can make out. Okay, it's from a distance or it's close by. But fear is there, and that is where your leadership comes up. How to control that fear. है तो लड़के हैं सारे, वो उनको भी है, सबको है. इट्स वेरी इजी टू से हम कोई मरने के लिए नहीं जाता है. आप गए हो वहाँ पे मारने के लिए, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. ये कि हम देश के लिए मरेंगे, व्हाई शुड आई डाई, है ना. जब हम मार सकते हो किसी को तो क्यों मरना है. तो योर ट्रेनिंग कम्स इन हैंडी, योर मेंटल दैट स्ट्रेंथ कम्स इनटू द प्ले, एंड द कॉन्फिडेंस ओवर योर कमांड. आपको पता है मैं जो कहूँगा ये लड़के करेंगे, खड़े हो जाएंगे एकदम. जैसे मैंने कहा, जब फायर और नो फायर, एंड दे विल स्टैंड देयर. They'll, I'll say move, so they'll move. So that confidence, is a two-way traffic. Their confidence over you. My leader is, he knows his job.
Right.
And your confidence, when I say go, and they'll go. The army leadership is a unique leadership. Leadership तो सब जगह होती है, हर फील्ड में leadership. लेकिन अगर आप उसको फर्दर ब्रेक डाउन करो तो जो लीडरशिप इन द सिविल अफेयर्स में, दैट्स मोर ऑफ अ managerial tasks with your technical knowledge or what are the field knowledge and all. At no stage in the civil, leader is required to motivate his command, motivate his person to get up and go for the ultimate sacrifice. Here you lead from the front. The leadership here is lead from the front. When you are leading, everyone is with you. And you may not have to lead every time, because the people know it, that he will lead us.
Right.
So they are there for you. That is the major difference. Your courage, moral and the physical. Physical, everyone, most of the people can have the physical courage, okay. But it's the moral courage to own. Take the ownership. My order, let's go. I stand by those.
Responsibility.
Right. Responsibility has to be yours. And when you take the responsibility, then you realize that yes, there is something as a risk-taking capability. Each individual has got a different capability. First, you have to quick in analysis. It is this much time only. You are moving, a column is moving of 100 people. Suddenly they are fired upon from some place. It might hit someone or might not hit someone. Now, the first reaction is the people go to the ground. They cock their weapon, they are ready. Now they are, what next now? Orders. What it comes. You have to analyze the situation now. What do I do? Do I fight it out? Or is my mission is to forget about them, I have to go to where I'm tasked. So you have to take that split second decision. Should I leave some people to tackle with it? Should I fire back? Should I chase them? These all are in a very, very quick succession. So that's why any army leader, army commander that you will come across, you'll find you speak, and the tendency of his is to take a decision immediately to tell you this thing.
Reaction.
Yeah. At time ये difficult हो जाता है घर में, because before your wife tells you something, ये लाना है, you already said कहाँ ले आऊँगा कल, वो कह रही थी लाना नहीं है पहले पड़ा हुआ. So that sort of a thing, because your quick reaction to it has become a part of your life.
Sure.
And there is a command structure in the leadership. चाहे 100 में there are holders, NCOs, JCOs जिनकी सर्विस ज़्यादा है, but there is a lieutenant who has just joined 2 year service or 1 year service. The command hierarchy, it just takes over. That lieutenant is supposed to now take over the situation because he is in the hierarchical order. He is the leader. He takes on. He'll take help of everyone. He'll order everyone, but he takes on. It becomes his command thereafter. How he deals with. So these are the very, very peculiar things, where it is a structure is totally pinnacle on top, hierarchical, and the command is very, very strict. Whosoever is the senior most, he is the commander of that, and it goes through that. And you have to have the communication skill where you should be able to motivate your troops for that day.
बिल्कुल.
Right. And it's not in any other leadership that you command. And if need be, you should also be able to go along with them. Number of incidents have there where the people, when all the hell was on you, you were down, suddenly the officer say, चलो, उठो भाई, क्या जवाब देंगे घर में जाके कल को. And the boys get up and some of them get killed. So this is what it is.
So 1987 श्रीलंका. आप और उस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के बारे में और उसको कंप्लीट कीजिए, क्या हुआ फिर?
Well, that was a little, the bad phase because at that time it was an unplanned sort of operation, which political leadership had taken some decision which was not in this.
Haphazard था.
It was a decision, very hasty decision. I won't go in, but whosoever was at it was a very hasty decision, ill-planned. We were not prepared for that. We had gone there for peacekeeping. So much so we didn't have the maps even of the terrain. We were, whatever little we got the tourist map. Army doesn't function on the tourist map.
No.
We need pinpoint where to go. And it's the same LTT with which we were earlier friendly, and it's the same LTT.
Tamil Tigers.
Now Tamil Tiger. They were now after you. Then, Sri Lanka government and LTT stage came when they started double crossing us. Then we operated all along Sri Lanka. Then we were virtually taken to a number of places from north to east and east to north. We operated everywhere. We came across number of incidents which happened, but we did our tenure 2 years, and then we were pulled out. We operated through the naval ships also, went from island to island, small island. Became militants are there, so we went there. I went there, so they detailed me as the Div Reserve Company commander. So you have to, wherever there's something happens day or night, so they'll say that Reserve Company to move. So I had number of incidents moving at night and, operating various places. And a good learning, saw how the troops behave in various places. But overall, it was a bad political decision to send the army, and we suffered quite a bit. More than 1100 or 1160 or were the casualties killed, and double the amount were the injured. So at the end of it, we got nothing because then LTT and they joined hands.
उनका conflict नहीं खत्म हुआ और
we were pushed out, and ultimately Sri Lanka used literally a hammer to kill the fly, and they wiped out the LTT, and that's what. So that was one of the operation where good learning.
You came back 89.
Sri Lanka के बाद में I had a tenure in Dharamsala. Spent some time, then I went on stop to deserts.
War time के बाद peace time होता है.
Yeah, उसके बाद में peace. But overall, if I tell my profile is that I've had 6 tenures in insurgency. लोग एक बार जाते हैं, 2 बार जाते हैं. Like मैंने नागालैंड, असम, बोडोलैंड, श्रीनगर, Kashmir Valley as such, Sri Lanka. तो आई वर्चुअली टेकन पार्ट इन ऑल दिस.
जहाँ पे भी कुछ एक्शन हो रहा है आप पहुंच जाते हो.
मतलब इट जस्ट सो हैपेंड दैट यू वर इन्वॉल्वड इन सम वे दैट.
राइट.
तो अगर स्ट्रेस देखूँ तो ज़्यादा मेरा टेन्योर ऑलमोस्ट 6 टेन्योर मीन्स नियरली 40 to 50% ऑफ दैट जो सर्विस है वो इंसर्जेंसी के इलाके में. एंड इंसर्जेंसी वेरी स्ट्रेसफुल.
आई एम श्योर.
इट्स वेरी वेरी स्ट्रेसफुल. श्रीलंका भी तो एक किस्म का इंसर्जेंसी था वो, Tamil Elam people fighting. A stage came when every day there were casualties. I'm just taking you back a bit. People say remain cautious. You can remain cautious, very careful for 1 day, 2 day, 10 day, 15 days, 20 days. When it's an unending, you don't know when it's going to end. How long can you be on your alert? It's not possible. You take all precautions which are part of your training.
Right.
So every day there were 1 or 2 casualties. Somewhere ambushes, somewhere one of our vehicle blew off, 18 people were killed. So that sort of thing where you have to operate day and night. Something was being heavy on my heart. You know, कैसा क्या होना चाहिए? Then I realized, yeah, what is this? Something is worrying me somewhere. Okay. What was worrying is, okay, if something happened to, how should the family go about? I wrote a 14-page letter. You won't believe it. I'm sharing with you. I sat down one day, wrote 14-page letter to my wife.
आप उस टाइम पे कहाँ पे थे?
Sri Lanka.
Okay.
I said, look, this is an everyday affair. Anything can happen to anyone. There's nothing, you are meant for that. Right? Should something happen, this is the way you should go about. I had a small daughter. You should go about this way, right? So this is where, what is my shares in the property, where should settle down, who can help you, who cannot help you, what through that, whatever can do. And from that day onward, till I completed my tenure, I had no worry at all.
Oh man.
Right. But the impact of that letter at back home, probably I came to know later, was not little, it wasn't a little too charming.
Yes.
तो ये होता है इंसिडेंसी में क्या है कि कुछ ना कुछ देखिए एवरीडे ऑपरेशन में जा रहे हैं आप कुछ ना होगा स्पेशली एट द लोअर लेवल यू आर ए प्लाटून कमांडर कंपनी कमांडर तो बार बार उसमें इसलिए आपको एक एक्सपीरियंस भी आता है दूसरा आपका जो है ना वो एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो जाती है कि दिस विल गो लाइक दिस यू विल फेस सिचुएशन ऑफ दिस काइंड
दुनियादारी कह सकते हैं
ये एक अलग किस्म की दुनियादारी है बिकॉज इसमें बहुत कुछ इन्वॉल्व है अगर सब कुछ अच्छा हो जाए तो ठीक है पर कई बार जो है सब चीज़ अच्छा नहीं भी होता अपार्ट फ्रॉम योर कैजुअलिटी क्योंकि इंसर्जेंसी आपको टायर कर देती है ये आपको आपकी ट्रेनिंग से दूर ले जाए जो आप जिस लिए ट्रेन कर रहे हो ना वो काम नहीं है आपका ये यू आर ट्रेन फॉर अ वॉर विद द एनिमी हियर यू आर फाइटिंग विद योर ओन पीपल
ओके
यहाँ पे आप ओनली छोटे हथियारों से बात कर रहे हैं जब आप लड़ाई में जाते हो तो आई लेट इट बी फ्लाई बट आई यूज द हैमर सो दैट द फ्लाई नो अदर फ्लाई कम्स देयर हियर दैट इज नॉट देन द सिविल ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर एरिया मे नॉट बी वेरी happy with your stay there.
Of course.
I'll give you a very small example. Very peculiar things come up in the insurgency sometimes. We were in Kokrajar, Assam, Bodoland area. And one night, we were keeping a tag of a particular gentleman, a militant leader. I had a few lieutenants with me who had just joined. Through the source, I got information that so-and-so leader's wife is expecting and she's most likely going to deliver tonight. And he will visit. He will visit. So the sources were put on action. They said, likely to be taken to so-and-so hospital. She was moved from there, but she did reach that hospital. So we lost the lead. Then at somewhere around 10 o'clock night, got a call. Those days there were no mobiles. So the person has to go on some landline and then give it. He is not gone there. He is in so-and-so, the Gaumbuda, sort of a sarpanch number that you can call it, in the house. I said, okay. Lieutenant says, sir, I'll take it to him. I said, go. What 8 to 10 boys, 2 vehicles, and they will say, okay, move. He goes there, lands up there, and physically catches the man. He was just waiting outside when his wife is inside in the delivery going on. And outside he was sitting, and he just picks. But the moment he picks up, the whole village is up. First thing they did is switched off the lights.
Okay.
And then entire village ladies, almost 150 or more, they came and they surrounded this boy with those 6 to 8 boys of his. and they started misbehaving, spitting, trying to tear their clothes, and they wanted to snatch him. They are six, and the ladies only push forward. He came on those. We had a sets, ANPRC 25, good old set. He came on the set and he says, "So this is what is happening." And he's a youngster, just about 21, 22-year old. He says, "Sir, give me order. I'll bloody well sort out." No, you have to really think of it. This is a peculation. No one teaches you. This can
Very
happen.
serious decision.
If he fires, he kills a couple of women. It will be a big issue. I also took a few seconds. I said, "How many there?" He said, "What, approximately 150. How many are you?" He said, "Excluding driver and the vehicle, the guard. I got about 6 people at the moment with me." I said, "Okay, do one thing. Tell them we'll hand him over to the Gaumbuda, the village sarpanch headman, and take a receipt, and headman will bring him tomorrow to our." He's okay. He said, "Oh, he will never come." I said, "Yes, I know he will now come if you hand him over. We are not handing over. Listen to me first. Start walking. Walk fast, because village headman's house is almost from there, maybe 800 to 1000 meter.
Okay.
As a walk fast in the army way. The moment you are out of the ladies' cordon, hit for your vehicle along with the man and drive off." He did the same. No fire, nothing. They moved, chalo, chalo, chalo. Some people were, one or two were guiding, some people other. And the moment he came out of, because all the ladies couldn't keep pace with them. He came out of, when he say he's out 200 to 300 meter away from now, ahead of them. And he gave a message to his vehicle. Vehicle was there. And they jumped, brought the man, and came back. Big catch. In due course, I asked him, what was coming in your mind at that time? Josh. He said, "Sir, if they would have torn my uniform," so I was thinking, if they do that, if they tear my uniform, I'm going to react. I said, "If you have reacted, then what would happen?" They are our own people. You have to see that the militancy is also contained, at the same time that the winning hearts and minds is also part of our
It's important,
game. At the end, as I say, all is well that ends well. It ended very well. Because we got the militant who was wanted. And this boy didn't fire a single shot. Everything came out well. So such sort of a situation, insurgency throws at you. Which it is, at the spur of the moment, you have to take some decision. Which
no one can train you for this.
No one can train you on for this thing. That is the beauty.
This was in Assam?
Assam, yeah. There was Kokrajhar area, Bodoland. That is how it works.
अब तो काफी change हो गया situation वहाँ पे.
Yeah, the board, there's a card, things are much better, much better. Assam is doing very well now, situation. But there was a time when the Bodo insurgency was at the peaks.
अलग-अलग insurgencies हैं. आप एक military हो, वो भी तो एक military force हैं, right? Is it that systematic to be called a military?
नहीं, they are not. You see, इसमें 2 एलिमेंट शामिल है. एक तो है प्योर टेररिज्म और एक है इंसर्जेंसी पार्ट ऑफ इट. टेररिज्म जो है वो तो है सम पीपल दे आर अडॉप्टिंग द वायलेंट मीन्स फॉर अचीविंग सम एम्स. Sufferer are the society. They're coming, killing the innocents, blowing up the vehicles, burning the houses or the schools, and all. It's a pure terrorism. Insurgency, it is more of a socio-political and military political, exercise in which there is a aim. There is a group which has got some aim.
Bigger cause.
It could be immediately to change of that government out there. It could be that they want to de-link with your country. Like whatever is happening in the northeast over this. When the insurgency goes to a particular stage, well, when you call them intense, by that time probably those people are little well trained, motivated for the cause. But in general that you are seeing, they are not in the same. They may be individually, bravado and all. But they are not in the same category as the army where you call them as army. Army is a very trained group of soldiers.
Machine की तरह, every
They are,
person
yeah,
plays a
every
role.
man has got his role. There's some ethics, there is some training behind it, you know. Whereas in their case, it is the weapon. Wherever they can shoot, they'll just fire and, you know, try and in armed militants, life is not more than 5 years. Very few survive more than 5 years, those who are in the field. When they sort of over the year, the militancy grew, like, you know, you see the Nepal, what happened? The Maoist movement came up. The Congress party, they lost hold. Maoist virtually snatched the power from them. And now there's a Maoist governments in one form or the other coming out. So they became very, very organized. So that is a little, you know, difference, if I may say. They are not in the same league to be called as army as such, though they might call them, you know, the any army, Baloch Liberation Army, but they are not in that. They don't have those resources, they don't have that sort of a leadership, and they don't have that sort of a training for the war. Yeah.
तो 73 से जब तक आप रिटायर हुए तब तक आपने क्या चेंज देखा है?
Changes when I joined, if really see, education standard of the people have increased. Those were the days when the tribals, the Gurkhas and all were 8th pass.
Okay.
Others were 10th pass. Right? Now the 12th is the minimum qualification. Now people are tech savvy, computer savvy.
Yeah.
You know, better education standards. So that is one. Second, the set of weapons which were there. We had a good old Second World War vintage 7.62 SLR. They are given way. Now we are that better weapons have come up. Better equipment has come up with this thing. And we got the mechanized vehicle, we got the armored corps coming up. You know, the things are improving now in every field. A stage was there when we had a very limited gunnery. Now we've gone in for a better guns. Guns have come up. We got our own LCA and the light combat aircrafts coming up. You must have already taken flights. We are making our own submarines and all. The new system which has come up, Agniveer. To my mind, it's a wonderful system. It's a wonderful system because you will have the young soldier. Financial is just one aspect of it that, you know, you are reducing the burden. The trained people will go to various other paramilitary forces, police,
25%.
civil administration.
Yeah.
Right? They'll carry the ethos of the discipline with them.
Of course.
They'll carry the ethos of nationalistic feelings, the fervor which they have got in that particular organization.
Better citizens.
Better citizen. In the normal life also, they will be able to safeguard their family, if nothing else, their kith and kins tomorrow. And above all, you see, wherever they are, tomorrow, let's say there's a war, you need reserve. You must have be hearing what is happening in Ukraine or Russia.
It's been 2 years, more than 2 years
They
now.
are looking for resources, the human resource. They are raiding the marriage parties and all to pick up anyone between 16 and 60. You will not face that. This all the manpower is readily available, fully trained. Whichever department they might be. They might be in the police at that time or civil admin. But as a reserve, they can come to you. So it's a good system. This is how the evolving the army is in proceeding. We are one of the second largest army. The 14.6 is the listed strength of ours. Leave aside other. So 14.6 lakh is a sizable strength. Only China is ahead of us, probably 20.35 or something.
Yeah.
So that way, changes are there and changes are for good. Changes are for good. And command is straight now. Orders are very clear. So I'm happy.
What do you think is the future of the Indian Army?
Nearly 15,500 kilometers worth of borders. We got IB, International Border, we got LOC, we got LAC, marked, unmarked. We got over 7,500 kilometers worth of coastal area which needs to be guarded. We have to guard the sea lanes of communication because most of our energy requirements are through that. The trade is through that.
Yeah.
So if the army, when I say army, is the armed forces as a whole. If you have to guard your integrity of this law, and then you got a hostile neighbors, and you got a very volatile situation in some of the countries. Today, what is happening in Bangladesh, it does affect us.
Yeah.
Even Myanmar, what has happened, the influx of Rohingyas has affected us.
Of course.
Right? The turmoil in Pakistan, the failing state, and the cross-border terrorism which is pushing through, these all are affecting us, and it's likely to continue because overnight they are not going to become the saints.
Yeah.
Even with China now, a little improvement has come up. We have pulled back to old location, but we can't forget the Galwan.
Yeah. We
Right.
lost 20 soldiers.
We can't forget the Doklam earlier stand which we had with them. So you have to be prepared for that. Ours is a totally apolitical army and professional army. Today in the world, I think when you call professional armies, ours is one of the best professional army, I would say. In the years to come, army may become a little lean, better weaponry, more people with the technological knowledge coming up. So it will be man and machine and technology which will be merged. And maybe a strength may become a little less tomorrow or something. But it will be a lean, mean and very, very efficient army which will be required for the country. Why? Because ours is a very peculiar border that we support.
Yeah.
Plus, the insurgencies in between, plus the neighborhood, which is a total troublesome at the moment. This all will need the army.
Recently, in the news, I've read a lot. The Indian Navy is advancing a lot. We are doing a lot of activity in the Indian Ocean.
Apart from safeguarding the 7,500 kilometer worth of coastal line which we got, we also have to safeguard our islands property and EEZ, our economic zones in the sea, which is the sea lanes which pass through Indian continent. They are to be saved. They should remain open. Leave aside other. The world trade flows through that. Our own energy requirement and the trade flows through that. So we need a navy which is capable of at least keeping those sea lanes open. We are a responsible nation. We got a responsibility of the world also.
Of course.
Right. The world trade passes through our area. So to assure that their safety is also, otherwise tomorrow everyone says, look after your own area, then no one will be looking after any area, and then this long sea lanes will be
vulnerable,
ineffective. You can't go through that. So it's a good that Navy is improving. You have to, because see, tomorrow, whatever you feel your threats, it has to be in consonance with the threat perception. Where is the threat now? Tomorrow's war, where it is going to take place? Will it be in the hills, fighting over for every inch? Will it be in the plains? Or will it be in the seas? If your economy is choked, you are dried totally. And if tomorrow you have to project, force projection, that is very, very important roles. Navy and the Air Force both will play tomorrow. I moved on a course. I didn't take part in this Kargil, but I got the chance to command that division when I became a GOC Major General. So I commanded that.
बताइए थोड़ा उसके बारे में.
No, I'm just saying. Actually what I was going to tell you is about an incident. I'll tell you a small incident. You know what happened? One day, it was the winter. I had just taken a few days leave and come here. I reached today with my wife. I was sitting with my father, and we were preparing for the food. And there is a time I got a call from my deputy from there. So there is some problem has come up. We have noticed a little encroachment. Pakis have moved in about 200 meters inside, and they prefab structure they have put up there as a post.
Where?
On the border, Kargil region.
Okay.
Right. So as a casual, I said, yeah, blow it off. Either we tried. Anti-material weapon don't work. Its distance is far off. And it's totally covered with thick layer, the fog is foggy and you can't see anything. And the command headquarters, the person who is in charge of operation, Major General, he says he wants you to speak to him. I said, okay. So I got through to him. He told me, he said, look, the Army Commander wants that to tell you, take action whatever you feel, deem fit. I said, okay, when the Army Commander wants, I understood. Next day morning, I requested the GOC out here, you are my course mate. I said, give me a vehicle, I have to catch the first flight to Srinagar. Flew in. Now, from Srinagar onward, the weather was so bad I couldn't go. by chopper. We had to travel by road. I reached my headquarters at what 9:30 night. The thing was that it has to be finished by tomorrow morning. If it comes out, it is disgraceful. If you say that this is what has happened. And so I asked for the missiles. I said, how many missiles we are holding here? If I let it remain there, it will become, and tomorrow something else will come because we can't reach there. Terrain is so bad, the weather is so bad, and they'll make it permanent tomorrow. Moved in, much against everyone's advice, to be honest. I said, I have to get out, and before morning, it should be out. It has to be done before the army commander comes. That was the direction to me. I said, okay. 9 o'clock, we couldn't see anything in the morning. Next day, well, night was tense. 9 o'clock, can't see anything. 9:45, I got a call. I can locate. I can see the
outpost.
Let's go ahead. They fired 1, 2, 3 missiles that they blew off along with the whosoever was inside. Right. We took the photographs, forwarded to the command headquarters. And 10 o'clock when the army commanders came and the people wanted to brief him, the moment they said, sir, about that encroachment, he said, I know it must have been sorted out by Suresh. So that was the confidence level of the army commander. The impact is very hilarious. After maybe 3 months, in another area, in my sector only, in another area, enemy had Pakis had a post. They want to make it a double story.
Okay.
In their own area. They made a double story and they put a fresh tin, CGI sheets. That damn thing was shining from there. So there was a post commander of ours this side. He raised the red flag. Now the red flag means that we better stop it. We won't permit you to do this. It is in their area. But the impact of that action which have been taken 3 months back, it was seen here. Now, our monitoring decks, they were monitoring the communication going through the wireless sets. And after everything was over, that thing came to me. My co-commander asked, what are you doing? Just hear this cassette. There was a panic literally the other side. The Jawans who are working there on the set, they are telling each other, करना मरना तो है, पागल आदमी है उधर पली तरफ, वो जो जियो सिम बैठा उड़ा देगा सवेरे तक ना, उधर देखा ना क्या हुआ, ऐसे होगा इधर भी. Their CEO who is the commanding, he is asking after every 15 minutes, खुल गए सारे के नहीं अभी तक, कितने अभी बचे हुए हैं, टीन कितनी उतारी टीन के नहीं, है ना, literally counting the nuts and bolts के उतरे के नहीं. And this conversation is going on till they remove everything. I'm not told. The local command, they never told me. It only came to me after say, through the monitoring debts, the intelligence debts. They had monitored the whole conversation. That's how I came to know that this is how the impact is created on some other place. So it is just your that ability to take a calculated risk at an appropriate time. Which sends a very strong message across.
आपको hypothesis का proof मिल गया.
Yeah, this is how it has affected them.
Yeah.
Proof to tha wahin pe. We have blown them off totally because they never tried and nothing happened in my entire area as long as I was there. That's all I know. I think I just whatever little I could.
No, this was amazing. I think this went perfect.